Welcome back to Another Dimension. I'm Quinn.
I'm Trask.
I'm Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Taylor. How's it going this week?
Caught me by surprise there. It's good.
We do it the same way every week. How did we catch you by surprise?
He was leaning back.
Usually there's
That's
like
why I did it.
There's some dead time and then it goes into it, but
We're right at her.
let's do it.
Hammer it.
So,
what's in the news, Trash?
in the news, Mack trucks.
Oh, did you see that?
What?
Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh,
Passion.
They released a Pioneer.
that's their new model.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
It's kind of ugly.
Completely ugly.
Well,
It's just like the new Volvos.
that's not where I was going.
Hopefully, Mac wasn't going to sponsor us.
Weren't they the same?
They are the same company.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
They're bad.
Why are they bad?
They look like those
The
electric.
company's not bad.
No. They're new models.
Yeah. Well,
I like Mac.
with the digital mirrors and everything. Did you see that? That's
No.
kind of cool.
I looked at it and
so they have digital
went the other
mirrors.
way.
I don't exactly know how they work, but with the no mirrors and a couple other things with like how they geared it and all that, it's going to be an 11% fuel efficiency increase over the Anthem.
So if they were getting 7, it's going to get 7.77.
Think about that. Times that over a huge fleet. I mean, if the numbers are true, right? That's the digital mirrors are cool though.
I think Freightliner's got that, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them going down the road without them.
They're hideous.
It's on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me how you really feel.
Taylor, you should probably show a picture of them.
What is it? What
It's
exactly
the
is
new
it?
Mac.
Pioneer. The inside
And-
looks really cool.
I'm sure it does.
Making a note.
I think it's probably very similar to the new Volvo model, which
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think that they were that bad looking, but they definitely are. They're hideous.
we won't
apparently.
be getting them.
Yeah. Even if we could save 11% on fuel efficiency.
Well,
But
fuel
anyway,
mileage really isn't our game. But
It's not.
and I hate to say that, it is important. But when you're doing non-typical
Stuff.
freight, it's very hard to be aerodynamic.
Well, and the digital mirrors aren't going to help you because half the time our loads stick out wider than the mirrors. So
it's not real applicable to pulling
yeah,
oversized stuff.
for sure. The next topic, I don't know if we'll be covering this one next week. Might be on a flyer or not, but there's a bill in Congress that is being introduced to stop staged trucking accidents. They say they're on a 50% increase on fraudulent claims of pedestrian or cars purposely getting into accidents with semis to file claims in frivolous claims.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. You're trying to make a quick buck, and all it takes is one bad, a simple fender bender could be.
Desperate people
fatal.
do desperate things, but if you're gonna
Why put someone else in that? But
exactly,
in that situation, right? But the bill goes on to state that if you're caught doing this fraudulently, you're going to face a minimum of 20 years in prison.
so basically what they're doing, they're pulling out and getting hit or whatever.
sideswiping,
Yeah.
whatever. Yep, just causing an accident because they know all of the insurance, and these cases are getting 7-figure settlements or nuclear verdicts, right?
And they run down through Indiana, see the billboard for the hammer. And
Every other one. Every other
Sign
billboard
me
says
up.
that. Or truck acts, truck lawyers, hurt in a wreck, whatever. It's just,
Scumbags.
it's bad. People should. Safety word of the day.
people should. I was still thinking about the scumbag
Yeah.
lawyers.
Yeah.
They should lean and look.
Yeah.
Like this, right? Like you got your dropper down into neutral. You should lean and look both ways. Usually once or twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then,
While they're merging or changing lanes or whatever.
I was at a stop sign.
Okay.
I was in neutral,
All right.
but
All right.
yes,
Okay.
yes, applicable there too.
Well, next time say you're at a stop sign. I thought you were driving.
Well, I was putting down in neutral.
Well, I thought you were just coasting. You know, a little Georgia overdrive.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, sorry. On a different playing field today.
Today has literally flown by.
It has. It's been nuts.
It's right now. It's about 1:30, and I feel like I didn't. I don't know what I did today.
I don't know either.
I ate Culver's.
You did?
First time all week.
Nice. I have not eaten out this week. I've been on a strict protein diet, as you can tell.
Wow.
Is that funny, Taylor?
I giggled because I could tell. I noticed right away.
Good. Yeah. See the way my face looked last week in the camera?
Chad went on a diet that nobody wants to go on, but he said he lost 6 pounds. He was sick.
He was sick all week. Yeah. Anyway, last week we talked about bad habits and complacency.
Yep.
We've had some time to kind of think about some real life stories, some real life examples of things we may have experienced or know that have happened. Came up with 7 topics
All right.
that are bad habit or complacency related. We can hop right into the first one. I think the most important one is inadequate load securement in the flatbed world.
Yep.
So with that,
Well, in any world, in any transportation world, think about a drive and it's got E-Track or a load bar and a reefer, whatever.
right, or take it down to even like the consumer level where how many times do you see a trailer hauling 2x4s?
It's moving day, and there goes a couch.
Right. You see them on the highway once a summer, right?
Guess I didn't need that.
Right. So bringing it back to our kind of realm of things, if you don't secure your load well, you're not only putting yourself in jeopardy of fines or cargo damage or a lot of other things, you're putting the motoring public. You're going down the road at 60 miles an hour. What happens if a piece of steel slides off? It's not just going to stop when it hits the highway. It's going to bounce. It's going to go through a windshield. Could potentially kill someone.
Right.
I mean, that's not good.
Always think about, put yourself aside. Think about, if I'm driving, I got to think about your family, and I got to think of my family and Taylor's family and everybody else out on the road. Whether that's, hey, you see guys with blown tires that are coming apart, and the shrapnel from a tire could go through a car.
What do they call those?
Alligators.
Yep.
Or a mud flap that comes out. And don't get me wrong, things happen.
Right.
But if there's something you can do to prevent something from happening, as you're talking load securement, you need to do that.
Yeah. So a couple fixes are, obviously you got to know the regulations of what you need for securement, right? Mm-hmm. They have the regulations in place for the minimums, but don't just do the minimum. We have a saying here, we're never going to yell at you for over securement.
Right.
There
was one time where it was quite questionable, but
that was basically a tarp. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, actually, that same guy had one where he had 48 straps on that load too.
Yeah, it was a pipe load. It was short, long, cut up.
You were talking about that one originally. I was talking about the counterweight down in.
Oh yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Likes to be secure.
Yeah. Don't just do the minimum. Now, I'm not saying you need to over secure everything. Know your working load limits. Know everything. If you feel like you need an extra strap, throw it. One of the fixes that the internet says is use the +1 rule. I don't think that's right. I think do what you need to do, and then if you feel like you need to add more, do it. And maybe take some photos. Add them, send them in, call a buddy, whoever. If you're ever questioning something, use your resources.
In addition to the securement thing, make sure your securement is good, legal, not going to break.
Right. We're getting into that.
Oh, we are? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. We can hop to that one if you want.
Sure. What number is that?
5.
Oh.
That's our equipment maintenance.
Yeah.
Not only your truck, but your straps, your binders. Make sure you're looking over all of this stuff. Spend the time now so you don't have to spend it on the road. Mm-hmm. They say if you can get ahead and do this preventable maintenance stuff, whether that is truck, trailer, whatever it may be. Health, yeah. You're going to save the time now. Plus, getting repaired on the road is, on average, they said 25% more expensive.
There's something, and it's health related. It's a quote, something about make time now so you're not forced to later or something. I don't remember.
I saw something similar. It was like, eat your medicine now so you don't rely on pills later, or like something like that.
Eat healthy so you don't have to.
Right.
And that applies to
everything.
Not only your health of your body, but the health of your equipment.
Yeah. Take the extra time to roll your straps up or dry them out and do those little things.
The health of your house, right? Like, my piece of siding's been off for about 2 years now, and now it's Could have put it back on in about
that hits
15
home.
minutes.
That hits home.
And,
I have a
and
piece
now it's
off on my deck.
waterlogged.
Yep, I have a piece off where I put my deck
Right?
condition on, and I've been putting it off because my kids stepped on it, and it's all bent, and I haven't been able to find one that matches. So there's like this tall of a section that's been hanging. I'm like, it's going to be rotted now, and
Now you're screwed.
it's under the deck, and I should have just did it,
Oh,
put a
man.
different color up. But anyway, so with those equipment things, I mean, some of the fixes that a driver or a mechanic or anyone can do is create, a checklist. Know what you have. Pay attention to your tarps. If something seems to start, tires, whatever, is wearing or operating weirdly, or your straps are getting dry rotted,
Save it if you can.
save it if you can, or cut off a portion of it and use it as a short strap, or whatever you can do. Know what you have, get familiar with it. And people could argue, well, I'm dropping and hooking, I don't always have the same equipment, but you should know how that stuff operates, or hey, this is normal, this isn't.
Right.
So that's a fix there. Document the issues. I mean, your logs have a DVIR. You can do that for your truck or trailer or whatever that may
For
be.
those that don't know what's a DVIR.
Yeah. Daily vehicle inspection report. Now they're digital. They used to just be, I think they were actually on your log at
Oh,
one point.
yeah. You had
Like,
the bottom, you
yep.
had to check all the boxes.
Yep. I remember seeing those, but now it's super easy. You can click through it, talk to your mechanic. Your mechanic isn't going to be upset with you reporting issues. It's only going to help save them down the line. If you see something, say something, right?
That's our stance.
Other people may not feel that way, but
Right. I mean, we probably, I don't know this. We're trying to fix this, but we probably spend more on preventative maintenance than we need to. But,
depends on how you look at it.
well, it depends on what it is. And if it can save you, the downtime on the road it magnifies everything. Lost wages for the driver, lost revenue for the company. You're in a shop. We just had a truck in a shop down in Savannah, Georgia, and compared to here, everything was about 15 to 20% more across the board.
I just said 25% is the average across for the nation,
Yep.
but it's nuts. If you can do it now, you're only saving money later. Yeah, it may cost you. Maybe you spend an extra $50 on the front end, but it saves you 25% on the long end, and 25% adds up when you're talking a $20,000 bill. That can move right into the next big number 3, I guess, would be skipping your pre or post trip inspection. So, do you want to walk through what some of the major risks
Skipping
of
it or
doing that?
being thorough on it.
Well, we're talking bad habits.
Yeah.
So this would be skipping.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, people are sometimes lackadaisical, lazy, and you got to think when you're inspecting your vehicle, it again goes back to safety. Like, hey, I got to think about if I'm going to be next to my family, right? Would I want my wheel falling off?
No.
Maybe that's a bit extreme,
But
but
it could happen.
It could happen.
Don't say that word.
Oh my God. Oh man. So you got to look at this stuff. Like, hey, you don't want your brakes to fail. You don't want your lights to be out. Do a thorough pre-trip inspection on your equipment when you're going out, right?
And they're required. Legally, the pre-trip is required.
The pre-trip is required. And, people will say, oh, I got to flag 15 minutes for that, or I got to show 15 minutes for that. No, you don't. You have to show what you did.
Right.
If I can do a pre-trip inspection in 10 minutes,
Do you think you thoroughly could go through your truck in 10 minutes?
if I was doing it every day in a thorough post trip, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Now, if I parked it on Friday, did a crappy post trip inspection, I'd probably look it over a lot better on Monday morning.
So that would go back to like a complacency thing. Like spend the time on Friday to save your time on Monday.
Yeah.
Now, I get it. There's life where you're trying to make a kid's baseball game, but don't skip it again. Don't take 2 shortcuts. Catch it, then again.
Yeah, don't ever skip it.
Right.
But and then on a post trip
I'm not saying
side,
skip it,
yeah,
but
on the post trip side, we've got people will come in on Friday afternoon. They'll back a trailer in a line, unhook it. Sometimes they don't even walk around it. Won't even check the tires. On a trailer, check your tires, check your lights, check your airbags. Make sure nothing's leaking. Make sure the load's secure if there's something on there. go through it.
Put it this
and
way.
because if I drop that and now on Monday morning you're going to deliver,
I was just going to say that.
there's burnt out lights and there's a flat tire. Not only do I look stupid because I didn't do my job, you're pissed. Shop's pissed because they got to fix it, and dispatch is upset, and the customer might be upset.
Right.
It's just a snowball effect. So just do it. And if you find something wrong, let's get it fixed, or at least on the schedule, and then it gives us time to come up with another game plan.
Right. And I mean, it comes down to don't put yourself or someone else in a situation that could be prevented. Right. It's only doing the minimum. That's not okay. Go above and beyond. And with that, there's still going to be times where situations do come up. You can't prevent everything.
It's kind of like you
Oh boy.
go to jump in your wife's van, and
Don't
you
get me
need to
started.
get the kids to soccer practice, right? And you're running late. Well, that's fine. And you get
It's
in
out of
there,
gas.
and it's out of gas.
Every time.
Yep.
Check engine lights on. Freaking air. There's not even air in the tires. She's just driving on the rims.
Yeah.
Oh,
We might as well sleep on the couch tonight.
yeah. Well, your wife doesn't have a van. Mine does.
No, but the fuel thing, my daughter's worse. But actually, I got her trained pretty good. At a quarter, she usually, hey, Dad, can you take my car for a ride? Really? Okay. Yeah.
It's acting weird.
Hey, when's the last time you put gas in it? Well, I put $10 in it the other day. All right.
Perfect.
All right. At least you're trying, honey.
Yeah. So a couple quick fixes. Let's move on past the pre and post trip, but a couple quick fixes that I know that work is, set aside enough time. The end of the day is easy. Mm-hmm. You can do that, and if you don't have time, whatever, you can get that done. But in the morning, plan for it. Create a digital checklist or follow a routine. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. They're out online. Mm-hmm. There are certain requirements that you need to pass to get your CDL. That's what you should be looking at every day.
I know I'm going off topic, but when I was a kid, I mean, my dad was a truck driver, and I remember, this is why it pisses me off so much about like guys not calling and then turning in paperwork. I remember my dad would, let's say get in late on Friday or whatever. We would go in on Saturday morning. He would do his paperwork, and we would take his paperwork in to work so they had it for Monday morning when they needed it. And other time frames, if he had time off. If he was off on Friday because we were on vacation, he was calling in at I think he had a lot of time. Let's just say 3:30 on Friday. He needed to call in. That even though he was on vacation, that was his responsibility.
Right.
Numerous times we'd go in on Saturday
For his next week's dispatch.
Yes.
Right? Like he wasn't required.
Yeah,
to,
but I hear times where like, oh, he's on vacation, we shouldn't bother him.
Right. No.
Bullshit.
Right. Yes, I agree.
So like, take pride in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I know this doesn't have anything to do with complacency, but
What kind of does?
I guess I was taught to take care of what you need to take care of, even if it's beyond what is normal.
Well,
is that fair?
Yeah, or even if it's inconvenient.
Yes.
Like how many times are you here on a Saturday or Sunday? It's just stuff that got to
Lots,
get done. Right.
Yeah.
Or late or whatever,
Yeah. I'm not ranting about anything in particular. I'm just saying like, hey, we as drivers have a responsibility to be safe, and that needs to be at the forefront.
Right.
That's your number one responsibility.
Don't rush.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time. Don't fall into, I've done this load 100 times. It's I'm used to it. Well, something could happen. The minute you start having that mindset, like that's how.
Yeah. And Matt and
things
Dennis
happen.
both brought this topic up, and so kind of why we're talking about it. You see things, and I'm guilty. Like, hey, I go load those tanks locally, and man, I'm only going like 3 miles. I'm just going to do this for now. Maybe it's skip strap protection, a corner or something, or maybe you chain it a little bit different or whatever. Just because it's going 3 miles, it's going 3 miles, right? Like you still need to follow those guidelines and make it safe, because that's when things happen.
Right. 100%. They could happen at any time, right?
I mean, wearing your seatbelt. Oh, I'm just running to the gas station. That's when things happen.
I'm the worst at that. Now, if I'm in town, I suck at it, but trying to
Really?
get better. Yeah, I do. I'm horrible at it. But Knox called me out, so I make sure to do it now. But yeah, if I'm on the highway, all the time it's on. But if I'm just driving in town.
Another thing with complacency, dolly legs, landing gear. Spin them up.
Yeah.
Spin them up. I see
How far?
all the way.
Oh, you're saying when you're going to drop, not when you're going to drop.
When you're going to drive down the road.
Yeah, don't.
There's a company next door. I mean, they go about halfway.
I saw one dragging basically the last snowfall we had. It had like a snowplow effect of snow behind it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
geez.
what happens if you're flexing
Yeah.
or you're going in a driveway? Raise them up.
Right. Speaking of snow, let's talk about neglecting weather conditions. We don't plan for weather. Weather happens, right?
We go to work and we see what happens.
Right. But let's say you're driving and you're in weather. Don't be a Superman.
No. Slow down.
If you got to stop, stop. If it's, we're never going to say you need to get that load there. There's not a load in this world that is worth someone's life or equipment. Equipment can be replaced. Appointments can be rescheduled. And 9 times out of 10, customers are okay with it as long as you communicate it early and often, right?
I need to show you something I found the other day. It was a job ad.
Okay.
And maybe we'll get into it next week, but just remind me to show you that later.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it about a thing that runs to Miami every?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
saw
see it?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty.
Well, I saw
Pointed.
it before all the comments,
Yeah.
and at first I was like, "What?" All right, let's just.
Okay.
We're not calling anybody out, but the gist of this job ad was this truck has run illegal for the past 8 years or whatever it was.
Right.
That will not change.
Yep.
So if you can't do that for me, don't even apply.
Yeah.
Is that
and-
the gist of
yeah,
it?
Crybabies don't apply.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
That's
at
wild.
8 to 12 stops, I think.
On one end,
Yeah.
and then some on the
Yeah.
other. And
I saw the same thing.
I have not looked into it. I have no idea if it's illegal, like if they can't legally do that or not. I don't care.
Yeah,
But
and I
when
didn't-
you're blatantly just
doing that,
Who are you talking to? Like who looks at that and goes, "There's an opportunity."
There's
well,
guys
remember
out
that
there.
kid that used to work for us that wanted big shiny Peterbilt with no speed limits?
Him?
That guy.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I could just do what I want. The open
I
road.
don't care. Like
Oh, I suppose
Doesn't
because
affect me.
that comes with a lot of freedom because they're not gonna pay a whole lot of attention to you, right?
Right.
well, who's
Maybe.
they? The company? You better get that job done.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But if you do, they're not calling you. They're not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to ask questions.
If it's done, it's
Right.
done.
They're not going to ask questions till
Something
hits the
happens.
fan.
Right. So moving back to weather, that was a great segue. Don't plan for weather, but plan for weather. If you end up in a situation, don't put yourself or anyone else at risk. I mean, if you got to stop, stop. We've had guys do that. We've rescheduled appointments. We're not ever going to pressure anyone to do that. And if you're in a situation where you're being pressured, don't.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple years back, here's a real life example. We had a driver on an oversized load out in PA. Remember this one? And it was snowing like the dickens. And ended up having to sit for 3 days. We couldn't move. There was restrictions on there, and the customer wanted us to kind of go.
I-80 was shut down.
Yeah. The customer wanted us to go, and we're like, absolutely not. Like,
Right.
they ended up having to reschedule the crane. Like, we're not going to put you guys in a situation like that. So don't do it.
Right.
And don't feel like you have to. Just be cognizant, I guess.
And you should be able to, when I say you, I say anybody, should feel comfortable wherever they're working to say, hey, you know what? I don't think this is safe.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair conversation.
100%.
And at the end of the day, if I'm the driver,
Excuse me.
I shouldn't do it if I'm not safe, if I don't feel safe.
Right.
It's not worth
Know
it.
when to put the brakes, for the literal term, put the brakes on a situation and take another look or another evaluation, right? You can handle this one. Here's another one we feel is important. Rushing through tarping.
Yeah.
What
Well,
are we up against?
Well,
We got to get the job
I guess
done.
we're talking in our world, right? So in flatbedding.
Well, I've never seen a tarp reefer.
Well, I know, but we open top container.
Cloth top.
I mean, we pad everything a lot.
Yeah.
Tarps aren't cheap. Tarps rip easily. We put a ton of padding on anything sharp. So that's important to us. And if you don't, your tarp's going to rip. It's going to possibly tear and possibly whip in the wind, damage the product. Product could get wet, yada, yada, yada.
Claims,
There's just all kinds of,
reputation.
yeah, and you look like a goober.
Road hazard. Tarps blew right off.
But on top of that, like when you're tarping, and over time places have gotten better. I'll be honest, it's annoying at some places because it's not needed.
exactly where you're going, yeah.
But fall protection,
Well, yeah, and don't rush through it. That's how mistakes happen.
absolutely. Honest to God, I've had fall protection on, and it's made me less stable. Trip, fall, get pulled the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Understand the need for it. I am for fall protection, but some of these places are putting it there as a, hey, we needed to do this, and not really thinking it through. It's not effective, or it's
It's a hindrance.
yes.
Not that it's not effective, because it will definitely keep you from falling to the ground. Maybe. No?
There's one we were hooked to that wasn't. We flat out told that.
Oh.
You'll hit the ground before that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's dumb. Yeah. Well, why even have it then? Kind of your thought?
Somebody said they had to. If you're just like anything, if you're not going to do it right, then why do it?
Right. If
Or at
it's
least
just,
making an honest attempt at doing it the correct way.
if you're doing it just to appease a regulation, it's not.
What's the point?
Yeah. Do it. If you're going to do it, do it. But yeah, so tarps flapping in the wind, tarps being repaired, tarps breaking, your safety, the customer's product. I mean, you want it to arrive safely. You want it to get there safely. And you don't want to look, I mean, we laugh all the time. How many times are we standing up in the office and we're right on the highway?
You can hear them.
If you're outside, it sounds like a helicopter, like you're in your car and the windows are down and it's like, we'll laugh at those. We're like, oh, must have been, whatever. I'm like, how does that even go down the road?
Yeah.
If I was a DOT officer, those are the
But
people.
is that a DOT violation? Probably not.
Probably not, but it's like, what do you?
I want to look at this.
Yes,
guy.
like this. I just want to know what's going through this guy's head, because clearly,
Nothing.
Nothing.
When'd you last load check?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it hasn't. You're telling me it just started flapping at the last overpass? Oh, really?
I swear.
Yeah. So know your equipment. Know what to watch for, and the tips and tricks that go along with it is how you roll up your equipment so you can place it correctly and just help you become more efficient. The padding. Know what you can cover. Know the dimensions of the tarps you're working with. Right? Like, don't roll all your tarps out and get them placed and set, and then know that you're going to be 6 inches short. Like, do that work ahead of time.
Yeah. And to that point, a lot of that stuff is rolled a certain way for a reason. So
Right.
because they're different dimensions, they're not square, they're rectangle.
Yep.
It happens all the time. You roll something out and it's always the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to turn this one.
Or they got a diaper, or they don't, or whatever.
Yeah. But I think you can apply that to other forms of transportation, can't you? Like,
Everything.
come up with a system
And follow it.
and follow it, but don't cut corners.
Is that a dog?
There's not a dog.
I don't know what it was. It sounded like a shaking dog. Yeah, you're right. It's just, once you have the system, tweak it if you have to. When you come to an issue, change it to make it better.
What are the most dangerous words?
I've been doing it this way for years. That was number 5. So I think we got 2 more if we can muscle through these. What one do you want to cover? Cargo checks or?
We just talked about load checks. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I don't know. Well, do they seal vans? I don't know. It's been so long since I pulled a van.
Doesn't help.
But they, what, because people still Still steal it?
Well, I remember being
No,
I
don't
was-
don't admit to anything.
not me.
No, I know. Oh,
what?
go ahead.
No, this is not, I'm not getting anyone in
I
trouble.
thought you were talking about doors.
I am.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I've heard
A guy
I know
ish.
used to pull the doors off of LTL loads that were sealed and put them onto another trailer so they can consolidate loads and not break the seal.
So when did the whole seal thing come about? I don't even remember.
Oh, that's been
A long time ago. So
I can tell you, it's been there for at least 18 years
That's where you
because
got
I
cut.
ripped a metal seal one time and I sliced my finger.
So for those of you who don't know, like especially anything food grade, there's a seal on the back of the trailer, and that seal number's on your bills, and it's got to get matched when you deliver it, and they determine if the seal was broken. If the seal was broken, it could be contaminated. Yada yada yada.
Right. Food safety.
Yeah.
I know that those have been around for a while, but then the other thing is that SIP, like the washouts and stuff for all those trailers, and I think that was like probably
Do
20.
they enforce that?
It was just starting when I got out of that world.
Yeah.
I would say probably 2018 is really when it kind of kicked off, but I don't know how it is now.
Right.
But cargo checks.
Yeah. So
We squirreled there.
it's hard to do it on a reefer because they're sealed.
Yeah.
But by law, in the flatbed world, you need. Is it just flatbed world? I don't know. You need to check your load securement every 150 miles or 3 hours, right?
First 50 miles, and then
Yeah.
every 3 hours or 150 miles thereafter.
Yeah. So I would. I don't
What
know
does
that
what does
answer.
a cargo check entail for you?
For me?
Yep.
Usually pulling off on a ramp because I don't want to go to a truck stop. It takes too long, and I don't want to deal with any of that. So pull off on a ramp.
So you're not just checking it in your mirrors.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's still back there. I usually thump my tires,
Okay.
check my lights because they're usually on, and then I check all my securement, make sure nothing has. Get up on my catwalk, make sure nothing has moved on the trailer. Walk through, check all my straps, my chains, whatever I have on it, make sure they're tight.
Tapping
If
'em.
anything did move, why and do I need to fix it? And if everything's good, 3 minutes.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
If everything's bad, it could be, hey, we got to change it, right?
Yeah.
What's the importance of these? I mean, we've all, I shouldn't say we all, but I've seen it. You've probably seen it. Even in like my personal truck, going down the highway, you see a guy hauling bricks and there's one that fell out and now the whole thing is loose because those were all packed together tight. Or a 2x4 slid out from the middle of a pack and now the whole bundle is loose.
That's why it's important.
Pickled steel.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't choke those and strap them correctly and, pay attention, all that stuff can slide.
And just because I did my load check still doesn't mean 5 miles down the road something could happen.
Well, I mean, the straps can break, equipment can fail. Even if you do everything to prevent these things, they still call them accidents for a reason. I mean, not too long ago, there was a coil out in the middle of a farm field out on the other side. I mean, those are dangerous. I mean, we load coils systematically the same
wasn't
way.
our coil,
It wasn't
by the
us.
way.
We load coils the same way systematically for that reason. Hey, this is how we're doing it. It's above what's required by law, and it works for us, right?
And it's safe and it gives us peace of mind.
Right, and it's better for our equipment. Even though we have coil packages, it's just easier. So that's the way we do it. So if something that you guys do, if you have anything to share for any of these things that we've discussed or things you put into place to help kind of curb them, let us know. We can definitely talk about them or bring them up. I mean, I don't think it's bad to say. Everyone can have a bad day here or there.
Yep.
Know the regulations on your load checks and what is required. Watch for things that have moved or pieces that are loose, straps that are loose, or maybe you didn't protect it. Maybe you cut some corners on the front end of your load securement and didn't put any protection in, and now your strap's cut. Fix it. Don't go down the road without it being fixed.
Right.
Don't be a statistic, right? Last thing I think we should cover that's important is incomplete documentation. It's not only important to us here, but everywhere. Causes delays, fines. I mean, gone are the days of the form and matter fines.
You're talking about logs in particular.
Well, and bill of ladings and everything, right? Signatures and stuff that all kind of changed with COVID. But if you don't have your stuff in check, organized, whatever, and let's say you get pulled into a weigh station, they're going to run you through the ringer. If you look like a professional, they're going to treat you like a professional, right?
Yep. Yeah. Here's my registration.
Have your logs annotated. Have your bill of ladings and your shipping IDs put in. Your trailer numbers. Make sure that everything is matching your current. Your logs today do it for you. It basically,
to some extent,
they do. Not always, but pay attention. Make sure things are working, right? Don't get a fine for something that is a click of a button. I mean, these technologies have made it so easy to just do. You're not getting out a ruler or a protractor and having to match up your lines to make sure they look nice anymore.
Right.
I mean, gone are those days. It's super easy. Your name is pre-populated for you. You don't have to spell it every day.
Right.
I mean, just do it. And if you are doing anything there, as far as paperwork, if you don't have the correct bills and match them when you are loaded, you could get somewhere and they could refuse it. We talked about that before.
Well, yeah, that's a one thing that is overlooked a lot,
Right.
by myself included. Excuse me. Look at your bill of lading. Look at what you're signing. And most places you still do sign. I know that changed with COVID, but look at the bill of lading. Does what you're supposed to be hauling, does that match? Or what you are hauling, does it match your bill of lading?
Right.
Is it going to where you think it's supposed to be going?
Right.
Is it going to St. Augustine, Florida, and you're supposed to be going to Denver, Colorado? Whatever.
We just had one. We got loaded. Shipper, thankfully, gave us the wrong paperwork. But we were supposed to be going to Colorado or something, and the bill said Georgia.
Right.
Thankfully, it was the right piece of equipment, but wrong paperwork.
Yep. And sometimes it might be a build to situation or a
Right.
third party, whatever. But look at that. Verify it. You know how, thank God it's never happened to me, but you know how dumb I would feel if I pulled in to, I pulled it where I thought I was supposed to be going. Because that's where my
Hey, I
dispatcher
got your
told me to go.
load.
Got your load. And
Like,
yeah.
this arrived last
supposed
week.
to be 1,200 miles from here. Right?
I mean,
Tough to get home that way.
Happened in my car one time.
What?
Ever tell you that story?
That your car got put in a reefer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended up down in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You deserved it.
I did not, but stay organized, double check, triple check, spend the time now. Kind of ties into our word of the day. If you were a driver
I am a driver.
hauling a load of four-legged go-go dancers,
Okay.
how would you verify that your bill of lading is correct?
Whew. I would count how many head of cattle I have on my wagon.
Kind of. Taylor?
I got nothing.
It's pigs or hogs, but
Okay.
same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but can you imagine trying to
Go-go
count like
dancers are hogs?
yeah?
Got it.
Can you imagine trying to count those things as they're running back and forth? It's just whatever. But I thought that'd be funny. It kind of tied in perfect.
Yeah.
But that's what we have for complacency. Don't be a statistic, right? Take the extra time. You don't want to be on the news. God forbid you don't want something to happen to you or your family either.
Just take the extra time, think about it. Be like, man, I should really do this.
Even if you
The
feel
other
like
way.
you're in a rush, you're not. You can be, if you end up having to sit.
We've got an extra couple minutes.
Right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope you made it through this whole one. I know it was probably hard, but we had a lot of squirrel moments. But we appreciate it.
It's all Matt's fault.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Continue to like and subscribe. See you next week.
Hi, Amy.
Amy. Pete.
See you guys later.
See ya. Pony Boy.